I've trained calisthenics for 10 years. I've solely focused on strength. But what's on the other side? What can we learn from endurance? This is my journey to running a 70-kilometer ultramarathon in Japan.
Okay, boys and girls, it is day 27 of Road to Shimanami, and well, I'm actually recording this the day after, but today will be a bit of a shorter video. But anyway, I was today expecting it to be one of those days that just didn't go well, you know, to not make any gains, not make any progress. Well, I guess gains are always made as long as you train, but I didn't expect any progress today. And well, as you will see later on in the video, perhaps not immediately, that was a wrong way of thinking, because I actually made quite a lot of progress. But anyway, that brings the question, let's say that, you know, something like a being out of the future, an alien came out of the future and told me like, hey, you're gonna train today and this is gonna happen, right? You're not gonna make any gains, you're not gonna make any progress. Would then suddenly the training not be worth it anymore? You know, would I suddenly stop the training? Would I not do it anymore? I don't think so, right? And vice versa as well. Like, when the alien comes from the future and tells me, hey, your training is gonna be the most amazing training you've ever had, well, of course I'm gonna be excited to do the training, but in the end, whether it's gonna be the worst or the best training ever doesn't change whether you should do it or not, right? Your actions should not be influenced by that. And you know, I was thinking about this because when you see the Rocky movies, right, or you see any action movie, any anime where the main character is like, you know, weak, and then he has to change something, he has to become strong, and so he goes training, he or she, and well, there is a few setbacks, and then from there it's just, you know, wind in the sails, smooth forward training, motivated. That's great and all, but in the end there's something different about it to real life, right? Because it's condensed in 1.5 hours usually, right? Okay, maybe in an anime a couple episodes, but you get the point, right? It's condensed. And so you look at that thing, at the video, the movie, the anime, whatever, and you're motivated. You're like, well, I'm gonna wake up early, and then I'm gonna do my training, I'm gonna train hard, and I'm gonna make gains, and I'm gonna become this new version of myself. Well, that's great and all, but in reality, you're not entitled to results because you woke up early a few days, you know? That's not how quickly this happens. In reality, there's gonna be ups and downs, and it's gonna take you months and years to get significant results. Of course, you're gonna notice day-to-day changes, right? Perhaps you're able to do more push-ups than last time. That's great, but there's also gonna be days that you're gonna feel weaker. And so when you think about your training, right, the only way you're gonna get to your goals is if you do that training every time, regardless of if it's a bad day or not. So in a sense it doesn't matter, right?
Time 12 minutes 44 seconds. Distance 2.01 kilometers. Average pace 6 minutes 19 seconds per kilometer.
Right. That's about where I want to be. I'm speeding things up a little bit today. I'll talk about that tomorrow. But where was I? Yes. You know, this video is not gonna be too long, but I'm just saying, guys, whether you have a bad day or good days, it doesn't really matter, right? Because whether it's one of the two, the answer to how do you get stronger is the same. And I would even go as far as to say as well, you have the good days because of the bad days. So let's say, you know, the alien from the future came and he says, well, it's a bad day. And so you're like, well, it's a bad day. I might as well skip it. Well, not knowing that the bad day or days, multiple, no matter how long they continue, those are the days that eventually bring you the good days, you know, the days of becoming stronger. So, you know, today I was telling this to myself because I was actually like, you know, I wasn't expecting any gains, like I said. So I was like, well, I gotta do this shit anyway. And guess what? Sometimes you have a nice surprise. Perhaps that's playing right now. Some successful attempts of the one-arm handstand with 3 and 2 fingers. Okay, that's a nice surprise. But if you don't get a nice surprise, or if you expect a good training and then it sucks, well, take it as a surprise as well, you know. Merry Christmas, as a certain someone would say. It shouldn't affect your actions, so let's just keep going, boys. No matter how long we have to go, because there's no end in sight. I'll see you tomorrow for another running and hand balancing day.
What the